In today's video, we're going to be looking at the best player from each playstyle or category, as in who is the best three-point shooter off the catch, who is the best scorer in isolation, and who is the best perimeter defender. The answer to those questions will be in today's video, the best NBA players by category. Remember, the stats in this video are at the time of this recording and from NBA.com. Plus, this is just my opinion, so if you disagree with my picks, then let me know in the comments. In today's video, I am partnering with DraftKings Sportsbook. The big game is set to kick off soon, and you don't need to be on the field to get in on the action because DraftKings is sharing a can't-miss offer to new customers. All you need to do is download DraftKings Sportsbook, use my promo code Kane, bet $5 on the game, and you'll instantly receive $200 in bonus bets deposited into your account. That is right, new customers will receive $200 in bonus bets deposited in their account if they make a bet on the big game between Philadelphia and Kansas City. All you have to do is make a prediction to get in on it, and you can do that by clicking the link in the description or the top comment. You can make the bet with DraftKings' same game parlays. You can combine multiple bets from the same game to give yourself a shot for even bigger winnings. And if you live in a state where mobile sports betting is not available, you can still get in on the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now if you're a new customer, use my promo code Kane, bet $5 on the big game, and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, this will be in the description. That's promo code Kane, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The first category of the video is the best isolation player. Which player is the most effective at creating offense in a one-on-one situation? That guy this year is Luka Doncic. Luka has this wide array of dribble fakes, pump fakes below the free throw line, jab steps that make it almost impossible to guard him when he gets onto the defender's hip. Not only do you have to worry about the drive to the basket, someone is naturally going to help on Luka if he beats his man, and that means a shooter is open. If the defender has a step on Luka, he'll go to the step back three or step back mid-range shot, or he can post you up, which then opens up the turnaround jumper, a drop step, or a pass to a shooter. Here are some of the stats from the best isolation scorers this year. Luka is clear number one. He just has so many options when he gets to play one-on-one. People talk about three-level scorers. This is an actual three-level scorer who has counters to the counter. In the playoffs, teams are hyper-focused on stopping your most preferred way of scoring. Luka has a counter for pretty much everything. The best way to guard him is to stop everyone else and let Luka gas himself out in the fourth quarter. It's funny because I remember this was one of the things that people pointed to as a weakness. Can he isolate and drive past NBA defenders? Honorable mentions go to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Joel Embiid. Who is the best pull-up three-point shooter in the NBA? It's Steph Curry, really no debate and don't need much of an explanation. He doesn't lead the league in pull-up threes made this year. He's fourth in total makes behind Luka, Dame, and Donovan Mitchell, but he has the best efficiency out of anyone in the top four at the moment. For the next category, it's for the best pick-and-roll ball handler, and this one is a little bit closer of a debate, but I gotta go with Steph again, because not only does he have the pull-up three threat, as I mentioned 15 seconds ago, but he can pass out of it and teams freak out and leave people open because they want to stop Steph's three-point shot. The best offensive play in basketball to me is still the Steph pick and roll. It's won a championship just last year, and he creates easy shots for his teammates. For this category, it's for the best catch and shoot three-point shooter. This one was kind of tough because I'm weighing between who's been the best this year or who do I trust. If you look at the catch and shoot three-point numbers this year, it's Buddy Hield at the top with 143 made on a 43% clip. Lauri Markkanen comes in at second with 133 made on a 44% clip. And Klay Thompson comes in at third with 121 made on a 40% clip. Buddy was top three in catch and shoot threes last year and number one now, so you could say he's the best. I still think it's Klay. He led everybody in this category in the playoffs in 2022. He's done it in the most high leverage moments. For this category, it's who is the best scorer in transition. I'm going with Giannis over LeBron just barely. They both generate the same type of fear when they push the ball after a long rebound, or they get out a bit after the steal. If you look at the stats this year, Giannis leads the league in transition points. Giannis led the league in transition points last year as well. If you think it's Zion, I wouldn't be mad at it. Same with LeBron, but I'll take Giannis just because his strides in transition. Giannis can reach some dribbling angles that LeBron can't because he's 6'11" and has a longer wingspan. Moving on to the best rim protector, this is for which player has the biggest impact at forcing misses at the rim, which player has teams doing a double take before going to the basket. I'm going with Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's almost resembling Anthony Davis in the bubble. His mobility is really shutting teams down. He gets a lot of his blocks on players' blind side, he shuts down guys in the post, he really is doing everything you want from a rim protector. Rudy Gobert is still right there. The trade with Minnesota and Utah was bad, and the fit around Gobert in Minnesota is going to be weird once KAT is healthy again. If we're talking strictly rim protection, Gobert's got to be in your top 3, and I'm not a Gobert truther or defender. I hope he never wins another Defensive Player of the Year, but the situation in Minnesota has clouded things. Brook Lopez has been tough to score on at the basket this year as well. I wouldn't be mad if you picked him. Evan Mobley has had a good year defending the rim. There was a game against the Jazz where Markkanen had no breathing room in the paint. Embiid has had his best defensive season in a couple years, and it's not like the Sixers have great defensive personnel around him. Nick Claxton, I wouldn't be mad if you picked him either. He saved the Nets defense, but my pick is Jaren Jackson Jr. For this category, it's the pull-up mid-range shot. The best player at this is Kevin Durant. This has been a reliable shot for him every year since he was in the league. He has used this shot to win a random regular season game on a Tuesday and against the best defenses in the playoffs. He can shoot over whoever the defender is from the mid-range. He can get to his spot very easily with 1 or 2 hesitation dribbles. KD is somehow having one of his better career years after an Achilles injury. At the time of this video, if you look at the stats from NBA.com for pull-up mid-range shots, Kevin Durant has the best efficiency on these type of shots. He's only 5 back from Luka, despite Luka taking 150 more of them. Honorable mention for DeMar DeRozan, who's made a living off that shot as well. For this category, it's the best passer. It's Nikola Jokic, no debate. He's not just the best passer because he makes a cool one-hander or a no-look pass to a shooter in the corner. It's because his passing has led to the Nuggets being an elite offense every year since he got starter level minutes 6 years ago. At the time of this recording, they have the #1 offense in the NBA, despite being one of the slower paced teams in the league. He can punish teams for overloading on him in the post with a skip pass or a cut to Aaron Gordon or Bruce Brown. He has this great sense of timing when someone is cutting. I think what makes Jokic so good as well is his passing instincts combined with his height. There are some passes that shorter point guards couldn't make because they don't have that passing angle as a 7-footer. Most of the best offenses are led by perimeter players who dribble the ball. You usually see a center's offensive skill set maximized when they are playing with a point guard with passing vision. It's really hard to drive an elite offense as a big man, and Jokic has been doing it for years with players in and out of the lineup. The next category is best perimeter defender, and to me that is OG Anunoby, and this one was tough because there aren't that many great defensive stats, and OG isn't the perfect perimeter defender. I just think OG has the right combination of height, strength, smarts, and lateral quickness. He's 6'7" and 230 pounds, so he's big enough to defend the larger wings like Jason Tatum, but he's also quick enough laterally to guard smaller players. You don't see him getting pushed around by players his size. You feel fine if he's defending a smaller guard. He's able to stay on guys' hips if someone gets a step and bother the shot. I just trust him against any matchup on the perimeter. I have a few honorable mentions for this spot. Jrue Holiday, he's the best guard defender to me, with Alex Caruso coming in at second. Another one is Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's one of the few players that really bothers Luka right at half court. If you saw their game in December, you saw a lot of bad Luka body language, a lot of whining. Some of that had to do with Jaden McDaniels interrupting those early sets the Mavericks like to run. And the last one is Mikal Bridges. Bridges is actually better than Anunoby at defending over screens. OG is kind of stiff in that category, but part of my criteria here is who would be the best at bothering someone like Luka in a playoff series. Bridges didn't do a good job of that because Luka is stronger than him going downhill. OG is a better matchup for these bigger wings. For this category, it's who is the best player in the post, and it's Nikola Jokic again. It was either Jokic or Embiid for this category. Jokic has great touch around the rim, he's got good footwork and balance when backing people down, and on occasion, he can go to the post fadeaway. The difference for me in this category is Jokic is a better passer out of the post than Embiid. The Nuggets are the #1 offense in the league, partly due to Jokic's post game. Jokic's passing out of the post opens up more ways for Denver to attack on offense. With Embiid, you know he's going to look to score most of the time. The Sixers have done a better job at getting Embiid in spots where he's less likely to be double teamed, but he's still not the best passer out of the post. The best rebounder in the NBA to me is Steven Adams of the Memphis Grizzlies. If you watched my video talking about interesting stats recently, you saw this stat that I mentioned. Adams by himself has a higher offensive rebound rate than the Brooklyn Nets and the Dallas Mavericks. Getting offensive rebounds takes serious skill and a level of timing that I couldn't understand. It's not as if Adams is only getting his rebounds because of his height on the defensive end with no resistance. He's doing it on both sides. He had a game against the Kings in January where he had 13 offensive rebounds and 10 defensive rebounds. A few honorable mentions here because there are other good rebounders to me. Kevon Looney, Mason Plumlee, Mitchell Robinson, Ivica Zubac, and Domantas Sabonis. Looney's rebounding numbers aren't even in the top 20, but he seems to always be in the right spots when the Warriors need him. I've seen him grab too many clutch offensive rebounds in the playoffs. For this category, it's just kind of like who's the best vertical leaper. I'm going with Shaedon Sharpe of the Portland Trailblazers. This guy has some of the craziest 1 foot and 2 foot jumping ability I've seen. It genuinely doesn't even seem real sometimes when he goes up for a dunk or a block. It kind of reminds me of older players like Shannon Brown when he was on the Lakers and DJ Steffens from Memphis. The dunk contest is probably going to be kind of boring now since he pulled out of the event. It would have been more interesting with him in it. For the last category of this video, it's for the best lob threat, and I think it's Anthony Davis just off of pure ability. I'm glad I saw this tweet because I couldn't find any alley-oop stats. I just think if AD played with a small guard, you'd see him at the same level as, Trey and Capella. The LeBron and AD pick and roll, it's good, but it's less dangerous at times because defenses can switch and muck up what the Lakers want to do. The players guarding LeBron and Anthony Davis will be around a similar height, and you can go under the screen. Similar thing with Westbrook. Russ has been one of the best lob throwers to AD in his career, but you can go under the screen. There's no pressure to guard Russ at 24 feet, meaning AD has no room for an alley-oop. Let's just say AD played with Dame, Kyrie, or Trae Young. You can't switch your point guard on defense onto Anthony Davis. You have to fight over the screen, which means that AD will have an angle for the lob. And that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I was thinking about doing this per position, like who's the best transition scorer at shooting guard. Spoiler, it's Jaylen Brown to me. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. I'll probably do it anyway, but just putting it out there. I'll see you in my next one.